Hello. Are people here? Okay. Hello. And then it just like disappeared. Yeah. So I wondered how to get there again. Yeah, something happened and it just, yeah. Yes. It says now is the second attempt, but now I don't see the share screen option at all. Yeah, because that's how I kind of tested before, and there would be a button below the screen that says share screen, but now that button doesn't exist. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, never mind. We'll figure out. Yeah. So sorry. I know we have 14 viewers, but it turns out I cannot share the screen. I don't know how to do it. So I will read out the novels, the start of the novels that we have talked about lah. Yeah, because I was hoping to show all this on shared screen, but we don't. So this is the six. Yeah, I can't even show you the poster properly. A few days ago, the Home Ministry announced that 6 books have been banned in Malaysia. So there was a press release that was given out on the 7th of January, which is a few days ago lah. So initially I wanted to share it with you so that we can all read it together, but since for some reason the screens are not sharing, I will read out to you lah the whole letter. It's a 2-page government press release. So it starts with a logo of KDN, Kementerian Dalam Negeri. Siaran media, tindakan perintah larangan di bawah Akta Mesin Cetak dan Penerbitan 1984, Akta 301 terhadap 6 in letters and then in number 6 tajuk penerbitan yang mungkin memudaratkan kemoralan. Number 1, selaras dengan prinsip rukun negara, kesopanan dan kesusilaan dan sosial budaya tempatan, Kementerian Dalam Negeri yang diberi tanggungjawab untuk menjaga keselamatan dan ketenteraman awam akan mengambil tindakan untuk mengawal dan menguatkuasakan peraturan terhadap mesin cetak dan penerbitan dalam negara. Ini penting bagi mengelakkan penyebaran ideologi atau gerakan yang bertentangan dengan budaya serta nilai-nilai murni masyarakat Malaysia yang majmuk. This is exactly how I was planning to do it. It's just that in the national text, you could actually see the text as well. But so you have to pay attention, because if you don't, then you don't know what the text is saying, because you can't read it for yourself. Number 2, justru itu KDN telah mewartakan perintah larangan di bawah Akta Mesin Cetak dan Penerbitan 1984, Akta 301, berkuat kuasa pada 19 Disember 2024 terhadap 6 in words and then in number 6 tajuk penerbitan melalui warta kerajaan yang berikut. A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime oleh Monica Murphy melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan in brackets kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini close bracket 2024, reference number PUA 409. B. Lose You to Find Me oleh Erik J. Brown melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan in brackets kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini. Nombor 2, 2024, reference number PUA 410. C. Punai oleh Asyraf Bakti melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini. Nombor 3, 2024, reference number PUA 411. Number D. Scattered Showers oleh Rainbow Rowell melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan, and then in brackets, kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini. Nombor 4, 2024, reference number PUA 412. E, When Everything Feels Like the Movie oleh Raziel Reid melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan, in brackets, kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini. Number 5, 2024, reference number PUA 413. Dan F, What If It's Us oleh Becky, Albertalli dan Adam Silverra melalui perintah mesin cetak dan penerbitan, kawalan hasil penerbitan tidak diingini. Nombor 6, 2024, reference number PUA 414. Point nombor 3 of this letter, perintah larangan di bawah. I'll check your comments to see if there are any comments. Okay. Yeah. Nombor 3, perintah larangan di bawah Akta 301 adalah berasaskan konsep kawalan dan pencegahan sebelum suatu ancaman atau kemudaratan itu berlaku. Dalam masa yang sama, masyarakat turut mendapat pendedahan dan kesedaran mengenai hasil-hasil penerbitan yang tidak diingini dan tidak sesuai untuk bacaan umum. Tindakan perintah larangan bagi kesemua hasil penerbitan yang berkenaan adalah selaras dengan peruntukan di bawah subsection 7(1) Akta 301 yang menetapkan pencetakan, pengimportan, penghasilan semula, penerbitan, penjualan, pengeluaran, pengelilingan, pengedaran atau pemilikan 6 hasil penerbitan tersebut yang mungkin memudaratkan kemoralan adalah, and then the next is in bold, dilarang secara mutlak di Malaysia. So all those things, including pemilikan, ya. So nombor 4 adalah diingatkan bahawa berdasarkan peruntukan di bawah subsection 802 Akta 301, mana-mana individu yang mencetak, mengimport, menghasilkan semula, menerbit, okay, I'll number it lah. Mana-mana individu yang mencetak, mengimport, menghasilkan semula, menerbit, menjual, mengeluar, mengeliling, menawarkan untuk menjual, mengedar atau ada dalam milikannya bagi apa-apa jua maksud seperti itu. This is interesting because the first few ones are all about printing, producing it, distributing it, and offering to sell and all that, and it ends with memiliki. But it's interesting because it ends with atau ada dalam milikannya bagi apa-apa tujuan maksud seperti itu, which I know to me it sounds like if you have it with the intention of selling it, that is an offense. But maybe in my naive mindset, it doesn't say that to have it in itself is an offense. I don't know. Maybe the lawyers among us can name, which is different from the paragraph before that, where it say pemilikan itself is already an offense. Melakukan apa je maksud seperti itu, apa-apa hasil penerbitan larangan, melakukan suatu kesalahan dan boleh apabila disabitkan dipenjara selama tempoh tidak melebihi 3 tahun atau didenda tidak melebihi RM20,000 atau kedua-duanya. So that is the standard joke lah, like, you know, if you're in prison and your cellmates are saying, what did you do? You know, you go on, you know, some people will be there for grand larceny, some will be there for robbery, for arson and all that. Yeah, it's like, your offense is you own this boys love novel, right? And you're in there for three years. And 3 years or RM20,000. RM20,000 is a lot, yeah? Atau kedua-duanya lah. Number 5. Kerajaan ingin menyatakan komitmen yang berterusan dalam melaksanakan tindakan kawal selia dan penguatkuasaan terhadap mesin cetak dan hasil penerbitan, khususnya bagi mencegah penyebaran elemen, fahaman maupun gerakan yang bercanggah dengan sosial budaya tempatan selaras dengan peruntukan perundangan yang berkuat kuasa demi keharmonian dan kesejahteraan bersama. maklumat lanjut berkaitan hasil penerbitan yang telah dikenakan tindakan perintah larangan di bawah Akta 301 boleh dirujuk pada laman sesawang KDN atau Perundangan Persatuan. So you can Google lah, if you want. So it's signed Kementerian Dalam Negeri 7 Januari 2025. Not signed lah. It just says that at the bottom. There's nobody signing this. And then the next it says Penyataan Media Unit Komunikasi Korporat Kementerian Dalam Negeri. And then it gives the email address and phone number lah, office phone number. So there's no person signing this lah. So we don't know actually who wrote this thing. And interesting that it mentions Mason Cetak a few times, because a little known fact is that in Malaysia, if you publish a book, it's compulsory for you to put the printer's name and address, because if you don't, it's an offense. Because this is a law that started during the emergency time, when the government wanted to not just punish the publisher but the printer, and what they were afraid of back then in the 1960s was communist propaganda. So it's like to scare printers into not printing sort of communist leaflets and all that. But that law still applies today. So you know, if you randomly open a local book and it doesn't have printer's name and address, I think it's still an offense. I mean, I'm not trying to rat on anybody here, but it's just a sort of a interesting observation that is still a compulsory thing. ISBN is not compulsory. Some people think it is, but it's not. You can publish a book without an ISBN. It's not an offense. But the printer's name and address needs to be there. I was curious because out of these 6 books, I've never read 6 of them. I've never even heard of them. So I decided to go to Amazon. So if you are a user of Amazon, or even if you're not a user, go to Amazon right now, amazon.com, and you can read together with me. This is where the interactive part is. You can read together with me, and we will go through each of these books one by one. So you don't have to look at my face all the time. You can look at the text of the book. So we will start with the first one alphabetically. It's called Lose You to Find Me by Erik J. Brown. So type that on Amazon. Lose You to Find Me. You will get it. It's a different cover from. It's got 2 different covers. So pick the one that is this cover lah. It's like an orange cover. If you click on it, if you click on the Amazon page, you will see the book cover, and then below it there will be a option that says read sample. I hope you see that. So if you click on that read sample, we can read together lah, the start of this banned book. Maybe we'll just go like 3 pages per book, because we're trying to get through 6 of them. So let's see. From the cover, you see 2 young men, both dressed as waiters, I suppose. They're in a restaurant with apron, and one has got like bow tie kind of thing. So I assume they are waiters. So I don't know. Let's not even read the synopsis. Let's just go for the. So those of you who are on the Amazon read sample, I'm not trying to promote buying things from Amazon. You know, I'm not an affiliate or whatever. You don't even have to buy it. You can just read the sample first few pages. So let's go. Okay, you scroll down. You will see dedication, and then you'll see chapter 1. Okay, so we'll start together chapter 1. I assume it's an American book lah, so don't have to read it with American accent lah. Read it like normal. Sunset Estates sounds like a cool name until you realize it's an old folks' home and sunset represents their lives. That's some dark shit. Sorry, it's not an old folks' home. I shouldn't call it that. In fact, our manager, Natalie, yells at us if we do. It's a retirement community. And not like those ones you always see in movies or TV, where there are a bunch of 100-plus-year-olds drooling in wheelchairs, wishing for death. Most of the people who live here are in great health, somewhere between 60 and 100, and 1 years young. Yes, management says that to their faces. Years young, if you can believe it. Some wake up early and live active lives outside the community. Others haven't left the complex in years. There's a structure and routine to how things run at Sunset Estate. Saturday night is movie night. Birthday night is the second Wednesday of every month. And dinner is always from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's what I like about the job. It was structured and everything made sense. So this is page 1. So far, nothing immoral at all. I'm a bit disappointed. Oh yes, thank you, Elise. Yes, you gave the link. Yeah, I should do that also for all the previous books. So click on that link. Yeah. Yeah, Elise just shared the link. Yeah. So thank you to Jeff Bezos for this amazing technology called Amazon Reid Sample. So page 2 is very short, but then Gabe de la Hoya, right? If it's like a Spanish name, you don't pronounce the H. So, but then Gabe de la Hoya started working there and ruined it. Wait, no, that's not when everything got messed up. It started way before then. So that's the end of the chapter 1. It's a very short chapter, actually. Yeah, I don't know why, but I don't think it's banned because the chapters are short. I think they have other reasons. So yeah. So we go to the next. Oh, I hope there's no. Yeah, I think it's like a fancy thing where it starts with chapter 1 and then it goes to prologue, right? Which is unusual. It's macam di luar tabi'i kan. For normally you will start with prologue and go to chapter 1, but this one starts with chapter 1 and goes to prologue. So as you recall, chapter 1, this guy, the narrator, was talking about working in a retirement home, and this guy Gabe came and ruined it or something. So prologue. Let's see how wrong this prologue is. Prologue. Okay, prologue is only 3 pages, so we just go through prologue to see. Prologue. I met Gabriel de la Hoya. Or is it Gabriel? It's like Spanish. I met Gabriel de la Hoya in day camp, the summer between 5th and 6th grade. I don't know, in American terms, that's like standard 5, standard 6, I guess. Summer camp, we have no such thing here. We have Camp Bina Semangat. We have Biro Tata Negara, I guess. We don't have summer camp. Because every day is summer. So I met Gabriel de la Hoya in day camp, the summer between, no, it's not even day, it's not even summer camp, it's day camp, whatever that is. The summer between 5th and 6th grade. He came up to me on our first morning with his dimple smile and an Avengers lunch bag. He pointed at the brown paper bag in my hand. "What did you bring?" he asked. He was taller than me, so I assumed he was going to beat me up and take my lunch. I don't know if that's a racial stereotype, because there's like he's obviously like Hispanic, right? The other one. I figured giving it to him would probably be less painful, so I handed it over. He tilted his head but took it, then sat down on the curb next to me and opened the paper bag. He removed everything one by one, and as he held up each item, I told him what it was. The smoked turkey salad sandwich on brioche with lettuce, in brackets, no tomato, or as an American would say, no tomato. The plastic baggie of homemade potato chips sprinkled with Trader Joe's everything but the elote. What is an elote? I have no idea what that is. Elote? Is it everything but the elote sandwich? Seasoning, a bruised peach, and a piece of raspberry chocolate chip banana bread wrapped in tin foil. Wow, is your mom like a super chef or something? It's like, good. I don't know what accent that is. My dad. Oh, so we see, it breaks down gender stereotypes, I think, because this first guy thought the mom cooks, but it's actually the dad. So this is something that will ruin our morals if the genders don't behave properly. His mouth quirked at that, and he looked back at his own lunch bag. I was hoping you'd want to trade, but I don't really have anything good. He opened the bag and pulled out what looked like a PB&J, which I think means peanut butter and jelly, on white bread. No way I was giving up my dad's turkey salad for that. an apple, a pudding cup, and oh, are those Takis? I asked. Yeah, I have no idea what Takis are. It's American thing, I don't know. My mouth watered and my cheeks seemed to tighten as I remembered the spicy, sour taste of the Takis I'd had at Stephen Simmons' 9th birthday party. I had been the only one who'd eaten them, but they were amazing. I'll trade you my chips for those. He held up the potato chips, scrutinizing them, and I realized I still didn't know his name. What's on them? He asked. Everything but the elote seasoning. Yeah, if you have time, do Google what elote is. Yeah, I'm reading all this for the first time together with you because I wanted an element of surprise. If I'd read it before, I would know what elote is. His eyebrows jumped up. I expected him to ask what that was, but he didn't. How about the chips and the banana bread? I must have shown how much I wanted the Takis. I have no idea what Takis are. I mean, is it like Twinkies? You know, those chocolate things? My dad always tried to make everything in our house from scratch, so I rarely got to indulge in processed foods. Chips, half of the banana bread, and if you bring more Takis tomorrow, I'll ask my dad to pack a second piece for you. He jumped up, holding out his hand. Deal. I'm Gabe, by the way. Tommy, we shook on it. So the narrator's name is Tommy, like we finally know. After that, my dad packed a second dessert for Gabe every day. You have to be careful with that word because, you know, sometimes it's dessert. But of course, there's a difference in extra S. So whenever I read, I'm cautious. It's like, is it dessert or desert? But yeah, it's spelled correctly, 2S, it's dessert. Eventually, we went from wrapping lunches. Eventually, we went from swapping lunches to just sharing them. So it's like start of a friendship lah kan. Well, I'm sure it leads to other things later, but it starts with a friendship lah. He picked me first when he got to be Mat Ball captain. I have no idea what Mat Ball is. Matball. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Well, the jocks among you will know what it is, I guess. He picked me first when he got to be Mat Ball captain, knowing full well I sucked. When we had a camp field trip to see a new Pixar movie, he sat next to me and shared the popcorn, candy, and soda he'd bought with the money his parents had sent with him. Sent with him? Okay. We spent every second of every weekday together. But when August arrived, his family took him on what was supposed to be a week-long vacation, and he never came back. I pretended he got swept away by a riptide or eaten by a shark. The rest of the summer, I threw away the second dessert because I didn't know how to tell my dad that my new friend was gone and never coming back. Or maybe I hoped he would come back. And I'd have heard I would have had earned that second dessert ready for him. No, not earned. I'd have that second dessert ready for him. I don't think that's sexual innuendo. I think he really means something to eat. It wasn't until the next summer that I realized why I had been so sad. Gabe wasn't like the other friends that I had grown apart from, or who transferred to Archbishop Murphy after kindergarten. What is Archbishop Murphy? It's the name of a school, I guess. And I thought Americans didn't say kindergarten. I thought they said grade school. So I'm a bit confused. Maybe some parts of America do say kindergarten. Or elementary school. Or I'm getting the two mixed up. One of them is grade school, one of them is elementary school. He was my first crush. The first boy for whom I ever really felt those things that other boys were supposed to have for girls. So of course, he'd royally fuck up my life when he came waltzing back into it. So that's the end of the preview you will read. I mean, it sounds intriguing enough, so go ahead and read the rest, and I'm sure you can, if you're resourceful enough, you'll know how to order it. So we go to the next book, which is in alphabetical order. because the KDN listed something in alphabetical order, but they said it starts with so that, that's not alphabetical order. Is it a million kisses? It's not. It's not meant to count. KDN, come on, do better. So I'm putting in the right order where million kisses comes after lose you to find me, because that's a proper alphabetical order, even though it starts with a million kisses. So yes, I will Google, I will go on Amazon, million kisses, a million kisses in your lifetime. So yes, here it is. It's book 2 of something. It's a series. So I will share the link in the. Oh yes, that's right, Nadira. Kindergarten Cop was in. Does that thing work? That link? It looks suspiciously long. It's just meant to go to the Amazon page. Yeah, it does go there anyway. Yeah, so click on that, and click on the Reid sample before that. So if I assume you're all in it, those who have a big enough screen, I guess. So you don't need a screen, right? I don't know. Can you do it and listen to Facebook at the same time? Probably. I mean, you're good at multitasking. So once again, I have no idea what this book is about. It's got lots of lipstick stains on the cover, so maybe it's female oriented or something like that, because you only see lipstick and the background is black. A million kisses in your lifetime. It starts with a playlist. You're supposed to listen to it. Oh, it's got a Spotify playlist. Yeah. We tried to do that once with a book. Yeah, it didn't quite work out. So we'll start. We just go for the first three or so pages, I guess. Chapter 1, Crew, which is the title of the chapter, I assume. It's been 3 years, 4 months, 2 days, and a handful of hours since the first moment I set eyes on her. The most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Would you say I have or I had? Because this is like past tense, so maybe it's present. Oh yeah, I have, I suppose, because it's still true now, right? So, the absolute bane of my existence. It's interesting because sentence number 2 and 3, they contradict each other, so it intrigues you. Like, she's the most beautiful girl you've ever seen, but she's the bane of your existence. She makes your life hell. She arrived at Lancaster Prep boarding school. Another sort of school set story. She arrived at Lancaster Prep boarding school the first day of our freshman year, and no one knew who she was. Fresh and untested, open and accepting, with that damn smile that seems permanently etched across her face. Every girl in our class immediately fell under her spell. Followed her everywhere she went. Desperately wanted to be her friend, even fought for the coveted spot of best friend. They copied her effortless style, and she set the school abuzz every time she wore her hair a different way or put on a new pair of earrings, for Christ's sake. Even the older girls, the upperclassmen, were drawn to her. Completely captivated by a seemingly innocent green-eyed girl who had barely spoken 10 words to me in the entirety of her time there. I've heard from more than one person that I scare her, intimidate her. I'm everything she fears, as well she should. I'd eat her up, swallow her whole, enjoy every second of it too. And she knows it. We are opposites. So I guess that's sexual innuendo, I don't know, or just like eat her up as in like beat her up, I don't know. But I guess, I don't know. You'll have to read further to find out. We are opposites in every single way you can think of, yet we're also unspoken equals. It's the weirdest fucking thing. She is the leader they all follow, and she quietly rules the school, just like me. So two of them rule the school? I don't know. Her crown is light, though, made of spun glass and airy effervescence, and with zero expectations. What does that mean? A crown has zero expectations? Yeah, I'm not that fond of that sentence. While mine is heavy and cumbersome. Like the crown has responsibility, right? So okay. So it's not that bad a sentence, I guess. While mine is heavy and cumbersome, reminding me of my duty to the family, to the name, to the Lancasters. We are one of the richest families in the country, if not the world. Our legacy goes back generations. I own this school, literally, and everyone in it, with the exception of one person. She won't even look at me. Why are you staring? I don't bother looking in my best friend Ezra Cahill's direction when he asked me that stupid question. It's a mixed school. I thought it was a girls' school for some reason. We're at the front entrance of the school, Monday after Thanksgiving break, which is like October, I think, or November. The crisp early morning air, cold enough to penetrate through my thick wool jacket. I should have worn a heavier coat, and I sure as hell I'm not going inside, not yet. I do this almost every single morning, wait for the Queen's arrival, for the day she actually acknowledges me. Currently, I'm running at a 0% rate of acknowledgement. I'm not staring, I finally tell Ez, my voice flat, uncaring. Outwardly, I act like I don't give a shit about anything or anyone. It's easier that way. Trust me, I'm perfectly aware that I'm a complete cliche. Is that already 3 pages, or are we going a bit further? Let's see. I got a bit more. But it works for me. To care is to admit vulnerability, and I'm the least vulnerable motherfucker at this entire school. Shit slides off my back. Expectations are never placed upon me. My older brothers think I'm the luckiest out of all of us, but I don't think so. At least they're acknowledged on a consistent basis. Sometimes I think my father flat out forgets I exist. You're looking for her again. My head snaps in Ezra's direction, my glare hard and cold. Though he ignores me, his only admission he's aware being that smirk curving his lips. When do I not? The question is sharp, like a slap to the face. Not that he cares. The fucker actually laughs at me. Fuck all this waiting around. How long has it been? You should talk to her. This is interesting because if you see a lot of like gay teenage kind of movies, like you would have like a female friend who would like counsel, you call them, I suppose, a fag hag. Whereas this is the other way around. It's a male telling a girl, go for it, which maybe it's a relatively fresh, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I shift my position against the cold pillar I'm leaning against. My entire body lax, casual. Though deep inside, I'm coiled tight, my gaze going to her once more, yet again, always. Ren Beaumont. What is this name? There's suddenly a name, Ren Beaumont. Who is this Ren Beaumont? Was this girl Ren Beaumont the whole time? Maybe it is. Yeah, I think we only find out her name in page 3, and it's Ren Beaumont. What sort of a name is that, Ren Beaumont? She ambles up the walkway towards the school entrance, towards me, with a serene smile on her face. She radiates light, casting her unique beam on everyone she walks past, lulling them into a trance. If I am fussy, I would delete the on her face, because whereas would the smile be but on her face? Yeah, but people have different things they look for when they edit. She greets everyone but me in that high-pitched voice, offering them a pleasant good morning, like she's snow fucking white. Friendly and sweet, and so goddamn beautiful. It almost hurts to look at her for too long. So that's the end of our preview of this Million Kisses in Your Lifetime, which seems to be part 2, Lancaster Prep 2. Yeah, so it's a 6-book series. 6-book series. But the government banned only book 2. Maybe they don't know the other books exist. So don't tell them. Don't give them ideas. So for whatever reason, they banned only book 2 out of this 6-book series. So we will go to the third book, Punai. Spoiler alert, Punai is not on Amazon because it's hard to put Malay books on Amazon. So I will give you the link to Google Books. A lot of local books are on Google Books, this being one of them. I will give you the link and we can read the start together. Yes. In the okay. Do you see the link to Google Books? This is for Punai by Asyraf Bakti. Punai is a comedy, which, full disclosure, I'm quite familiar with this manuscript. And I read the manuscript years ago, maybe 2021, so 4 years ago. I have not read it again since. So let's see if it holds up. So if you got the link, which I just gave, you can scroll and you will get to the first few pages. Right? I assume everybody has that. So we can read together. Semalam aku tengok filem Seperti Dendam Rindu Harus Dibayar Tuntas. This is very interesting because it references another book, and it references an Indonesian book, which is by a very famous writer named Eka Kurniawan, which I happen to have. I don't mind owning this book. I mean, I'm not scared of owning this book because it's not banned. So this is how the Indonesian book looks like, and it has got one of the best opening paragraphs, or at least opening sentence, one of the best opening sentences in modern Indonesian literature. So I will read it out to you. This is the Indonesian version lah. This not even version. This is the Indonesian book. Punai is sort of referencing it in its first sentence. So this is the first paragraph of Seperti Dendam Rindu Harus Dibayar Tuntas. Hanya orang yang enggak bisa ngaceng bisa berkelahi tanpa takut mati, kata Iwan Angsa setelah sekali waktu perihal Ajo Kawir. Ia satu dari beberapa orang yang mengetahui kemaluan Ajo Kawir tak bisa berdiri. Ia pernah melihat kemaluan itu seperti anak burung baru menetas, meringkuk kelaparan dan kedinginan. Kadang-kadang bisa memanjang, terutama di pagi hari, ketika pemiliknya terbangun dari tidur, penuh dengan air kencing, tapi tetap tak bisa berdiri, tak bisa mengeras. So it's a very graphic opening. And the first sentence yet again, hanya orang yang enggak bisa ngaceng bisa berkelahi tanpa takut mati. Which it's just very bold statement. Like the only men who don't mind fighting to the death are the men who can't get it up. So it's very vulgar, but it's I think it points at something. So yeah, back to Punai. So I think the context of this book has that kind of context. I mean it's so we see how Punai starts. Semalam aku tengok filem Seperti Dendam Rindu Harus Dibayar Tuntas. Tup-tup hari ni Punai aku tak naik, seperti mana gaji aku yang tak naik-naik semasa aku bekerja dengan Kembung Holdings dulu. Panjang ceritanya tentang momen dengan Kembung Holdings ni, tapi eloklah aku fokus dulu tentang Punai aku ni. Aku tengah terlentang sekarang sambil mengenang tentang karya Punai Kuatman aku sekarang. Aku dah agak Hari di mana Punai aku merajuk pasti akan tiba. Tapi aku tak sangka secepat ini ia akan datang. Time hari orang dapat gaji pula tu. Aku tak tahu macam mana nak pujuk Punai aku ni. Tapi aku yakin dalam masa seminggu, dia akan bangun semula. Aku cepat-cepat mesej Kak Jad sebab dia seorang saja yang pernah aku luahkan kerisauan aku tentang sistem pemunaian ini sebelum aku buat kerja aku yang sekarang. Kak Jad, Punai saya dah koma. Tapi di skala separuh tegang. Lama Kak Jad blue tick message aku. Aku tengok dia typing. Lepas tu dia hilang. Dia masuk balik dan dia typing balik. Aku tahu yang dia tengah susun ayat yang terbaik untuk error pemunaian yang aku hadapi sekarang. Kau jangan risau. Kau ikut je kitab Punai kukus yang akak bagi dekat kau masa mula-mula intern dulu. Aku pandang kitab Punai kukus yang aku letak dalam akuarium dalam bilik aku. Kitab tu dah lama duduk dalam akuarium bersama-sama ikan laga gocoh yang aku bela. Kitab tu tak boleh dibuka sembarangan. Ada caranya. Kitab tu hanya boleh dibuka dengan mengimbas punai lemah pemilik masing-masing. Aku rasa ni juga satu cara untuk tahu punai aku betul-betul lemah atau dia buat-buat koma saja. Aku seluk dalam akuarium perlahan-lahan. Gocoh yang aku bela datang bergeser-geser manja macam kucing di tepian lengan. Sebut pasal kucing, ada seekor kucing gomol yang aku bela dan mungkin dia sedang tidur di dapur. Dasar kucing oyen. Tahu mengiau dengan mengeruh saja. Gocoh aku rasakan dapat tahu yang punai aku ada masalah. Dia geser pelan-pelan dan aku nampak ada buih-buih yang keluar dari mulutnya. Mulut seolah-olah dia sedang bercakap, "Tenang sahabatku, semuanya akan kembali pulih." Aku usap-usap kepala Gocoh dan dia kembali berenang di celah-celah batu pokok aqua. Kalau mengikut statistik, hanya ada 3 nyawa yang pernah melihat punai aku yang dewasa ini. Kalau punai baby, mungkin ramai semasa kecil dulu. Tapi punai dewasa ini aku yakin Gocoh, Gomol dan sekumputung bunga yang lama hilang dari pandangan. Gocoh dan Gomol aku rasa mungkin diorang pun sampai dah bosan melihat punai aku. Manakan tidak, kadang aku bogel saja dalam rumah ini sambil sidai baju, tengok TV dan kadang-kadang waktu push up. So okay, that's the end of that segment. Yeah, it has a certain type of humor that I think not everybody will be into, granted. But if you're into the kind of Z. Lokman kind of comedy, or the later kind of Mat Sentol kind of comedy, it would probably be something that you're into if you see it. Now let's go for the 4th book. This one is on Amazon because it's American. So let's check. Rainbow Rowell. Scattered Showers. It's a collection of short stories. It's not a novel. Okay. Now, how do I get it? Let's click on the hardcover option. Yeah, there's a read sample. So I will share that in the chat. Do you see that? Well, yeah, because I think humor is very subjective. To me, the book is very funny, but maybe they didn't find it that way. So yeah, Rainbow Rowell. I didn't realize it's a collection of short stories. So obviously, we will read a sample from the first story. Not necessarily the best, but you never know. There must be a logic to why the story we will read is chosen to be the first. Maybe it's not banned because of the first story even. Maybe the reason for banning comes later. So the first story you read is called Midnights. Oh, look at this font. It's like 70s style font, right? Okay. Oh no, but it's set in 2014. So we can read the first 2.5 pages, right? Okay, just Midnights. December 31st, 2014, almost midnight. Is it a Taylor Swift reference? I don't know. It was cold out on the patio under the deck. Frigid. Dark. Dark because Mags was outside at midnight, and dark because she was in the shadows. This was the last place anyone would look for her. Anyone, and especially Noel. Noel. She'd missed all the excitement. Thank God. Mags should have thought of this years ago. She leaned back against Alicia's house and started eating the Chex Mix she'd brought out with her. I don't know what Chex Mix are. Chex Mix are. It's an American, like the Takis in the previous book. Alicia's mom made the best Chex Mix. Or is it check at like Tex Mex? It's like CHEX, so it's something plus Texas, is it? Chex. Max could hear the music playing inside. Oh, this book is like, the font is not in black, right? Those who are reading it is like brown. So, no, there's nothing to do with the content, but it's like, oh, the font is unusual because it's not in black. But yeah, quite a few books do that now. Alicia's mom made the best Chex Mix. Max could hear the music playing inside, and then she couldn't, and that was a good sign. It meant that the countdown was starting. 10, she heard someone shout. 9, more people joined in. 8, Mags was going to miss the whole thing. Perfect. Oh, that's the end of that small segment. So it just established that she's running away from someone called Noel, right? Something like that. Okay, so the next segment, December 31st, 2011. Oh, it's goes back further in the past. Are there nuts in that? The boy asked. Mags paused, holding a cracker. I mean, after reading Punai, that sort of line looks kind of meant to be funny, but it's not. I'm sure it's not. So, are there nuts in that? The boy asked. Mags paused, holding a cracker piled with pesto and cream cheese in front of her mouth. I think they are pine nuts, she said, crossing her eyes to look at it. Are pine nuts tree nuts? I have no idea, Mags said. I don't think pine nuts grow on pine trees, do they? The boy shrugged. He had shaggy brown hair and wide open blue eyes. He was wearing a Pokemon t-shirt. I'm not much of a tree nut expert, Mags said. Me neither, he said. Or me neither, right? You'd think I would be. If I accidentally eat one, it could kill me. If there was something out there that could kill you, wouldn't you try to be an expert on it? I don't know. Mags shoved the cracker in her mouth and started chewing. I don't know very much about cancer or car accidents. Yeah, the boy said, looking sadly at the buffet table. Do Americans say buffet? Or do they say buffet as well? He was skinny and pale. But tree nuts especially have it out for me. For me personally, they're more like assassins than like possible dangers. Damn, Mags said. What do you ever do to tree nuts? The boy laughed. Ate them, I guess. The music, which had been really loud, stopped. It's almost midnight, someone shouted. They both looked around. Mag's friend Alicia from homeroom was standing on the couch. It was Alicia's party, the first New Year's Eve party that Mags, at 15, had ever been invited to. 9, Alicia yelled. 8, there were a few dozen people in the basement, and they were all shouting now. 7, I'm Noel, the boy said, holding out his hand. Mags brushed all the pesto and traces of nuts off her hand and shook his. Mags. 4, 3, it's nice to meet you, Mags. You too, Noel. Congratulations on evading the tree nuts for another year. They almost had me with that pesto dip. Yeah, she nodded. It was a close call. So yeah, that's the end of the what we shall. So I guess it's setting up that they got along very well in 2011, but something happened in the intervening 3 years that makes her want to avoid him. Yeah. I mean, I don't see any LGBT element unless it comes later or in one of the other stories. So yeah, so that's actually Punai. I saw there's no actual LGBT element. It's quite chaste actually, the whole of Punai. So yeah, so some people say like, oh, 6 LGBT books. I think that's wrong. But I don't know. I haven't read the whole of this Rainbow Rowell book, and that's a real name, I think. It's not a pseudonym. Okay, the next is what if it's us? So let's look at that. What if it's us? It looks like another boys love kind of thing. It's you see, oh, it's book 1 of 2. So KDN only banned the first one. So don't tell them there's a sequel, because that's not banned. Yeah. So what? Why they did not? It's not up to us to. So yeah. So they banned part 1 of this 2-book series. I will give the link. Yeah, Rainbow Rowell, I actually had an encounter with her. Not with her personally, her agent, because we bought the rights to an earlier book by her called Eleanor and Park. And so we published it. And we were told that a movie was going to come out, which meant that the book would be easier to sell. But the movie never came out. So, so the book flopped. So yeah, but nothing personal, in business. I'm sure there was a reason why the movie didn't happen. So yeah, we have this new book. What if it's us? The cover, one guy is carrying a box. The other is sort of looking. Also, one of them is moving in, I guess, or moving out. The other guy is looking at him. Oh, it's by the author of Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. Oh, 2 authors. Oh, the first one wrote the Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda, and the second one wrote They Both Die at the End. So yeah, it's unusual, right? It's like 2 people, 2 novelists combined to write a book. I think, yeah, both those books are gay themed anyway. So I assume this one is. That means they're not trying to break new ground. They should. They stick with what they know, which is what I think some writers do. Let's see. How do I get to this free sample? Okay, there I am. So let's go to the free sample. It starts very quickly, right? After the cover. Or is that? Oh no, that's a blurb. So ignore that. In the first page is a kind of a blurb. Ignore that. You have to go way down to this one. It says Chapter 1, Arthur. Monday, July 9. So that's where the story starts. So it starts. I am not a New Yorker, and I want to go home. There are so many unspoken rules when you live here. Oh, it's about somebody who doesn't like New York. I am not a New Yorker, and I want to go home. There are so many unspoken rules when you live here, like the way you're never supposed to stop in the middle of the sidewalk, or stare dreamily up at tall buildings, or pause to read graffiti. No giant folding maps, no fanny packs. What's a fanny pack? I think I knew that before. It's a kind of like a pouch, right? No eye contact. No humming songs from Dear Evan Hansen in public. I have no idea what that is. Is it a musical? And you're definitely not supposed to take selfies at street corners, even if there's a hot dog stand and a whole line of yellow taxis in the background, which is eerily how you always pictured New York. You're allowed to silently appreciate it, but you have to be cool. From what I can tell, that's the whole point of New York. Being cool. I'm not cool. Take this morning. I made the mistake of glancing up at the sky just for a moment, and now I can't unstick my eyes. Looking up from this angle, it's like the world's tipping inward. Dizzyingly tall buildings and a bright fireball sun. It's beautiful. I'll give New York credit for that. It's beautiful and surreal, and nothing, absolutely nothing like Georgia. So I suppose he would have like a southern accent, right? Which I will not attempt. I tilt my phone to snap a picture. Not an Instagram story, no filters, nothing drawn out. One tiny quick picture. Instantaneous pedestrian rage. Jesus, come on, move, fucking tourists. Literally, I take a 2-second photograph and now I'm obstruction personified. I am responsible for every subway delay, every road closure, the very phenomenon of wind resistance. Fucking tourists. I'm not even a tourist. I somewhat live here, at least for the summer. It's not like I'm taking a joyful sightseeing stroll at noon on a Monday. I'm at work. I mean, I'm on a Starbucks run, but it counts. And maybe I'm taking the long way. Maybe I need a few extra minutes away from mom's office. Normally, being an intern is more boring than terrible. But today's uniquely shitty. Shitty, right? You know that kind of day when the printer runs out of paper and there's none in the supply room, so you try to steal some from the copier, but you can't get the drawer open, and then you push some wrong button and the copier starts beeping, and you're standing there thinking that whoever invented copy machines is this close to getting their ass kicked by you, by a 5'6" Jewish kid with ADHD and the rage of a tornado. That kind of day, yeah. So if he's Jewish, would he still have a strong southern accent? I suppose he would, because it's a geographic thing, right? And all I want to do is vent to Ethan and Jesse, but I still haven't figured out how to text while walking. I step off the sidewalk near the entrance to a post office, and wow, they don't make post offices like this in Milton, Georgia. It's got a white stone exterior with pillars and brass accents, and it's so painfully classy, I almost feel underdressed. And I'm wearing a tie. How do you say that properly? I almost feel underdressed, and I'm wearing a tie, right? It's like that, right? I text the sunny street picture to Ethan and Jesse. Rough day at the office. Jesse writes back immediately, I hate you, and I want to be you. Jesse is female, I suppose. It's IE. Here's the thing. Jesse and Ethan have been my best friends since the dawn of time. And I've always been real Arthur with them. I've never heard that phrase. Is it like a real McCoy, I guess? Lonely, messy Arthur, as opposed to upbeat Oh, his name is Arthur. Sorry. I thought it's like a slang term. Lonely, messy Arthur, as opposed to upbeat Instagram Arthur. But for some reason, I need them to think my New York life is awesome. I just do. So I've been sending them upbeat Instagram Arthur texts for weeks. I don't know if I'm really selling it though. Also, I miss you, Jesse writes, throwing down a whole line of kissy emojis. She's like my bubble in a 16-year-old body. She's like my bubble? What does that mean? She's like my bubble? Oh, bube. It's a Jewish term, right? Yeah. Yiddish term. I thought it was like bubble. She's like my bube in a 16-year-old body. She'd text a lipstick smudge onto my cheek if she could. The weird thing is that we've never had one of those ooey gooey friendships, at least not until prom night, which happens to be the night I told Jesse and Ethan I'm gay. So yeah, so that's the end of the 3 pages. Yeah, we don't see the love interest yet at all. He's taking a long time to appear, so kind of a slow start maybe. But I'm sure we'll pick up. It's by experienced writers in the genre. So the last one we will look at, this is When Everything Feels Like the Movies. And I know that's a song lyric, but I can't recall what song it is. Oh, Yiddish for Grandma. Thank you, Bube. Yay, I knew it was something like that, yeah. What song is that? When everything feels like the movies and you bleed just to know you're alive. I don't want to Google it because I know it's a song. So right, so this When Everything Feels Like the Movies, that's the title. Yeah. The title is not easy to read in this font because it's sort of disappears after this. I can't find it on Amazon. Raziel. The cover on Amazon is different. That's why I thought it wasn't there, but it is. It's only there as it's there as a paperback. I thought it's only there as an audiobook. How do you read an audiobook? Okay. So I'll give you I'm also give you the sample link straight away, right? What is Iris? Google Dolls. Yeah, you believe this. I did it. So there, I gave the link straight to the. See, as you can see, the cover is totally different from the version Malaysia band. Once again, I have no idea what this book is about, except that it references a song, which is apparently a Goo Goo Doll song. It starts with an do you call it epigraph? Where there's a quote at the beginning from Marilyn Monroe, and the quote goes, "I guess I am a fantasy." Marilyn Monroe. Paris Hilton said something quite similar, where she said, "People like me don't last." And I think that's a very wise thing Paris Hilton said quite early in her career. The text is quite dense, so maybe we won't go for the full 3 pages. Maybe 2 pages is enough. So this is the final book, by the way. And there's chapter 1, pre-production. So it said, the title should have given it away. It's set in the movie world, right? So number 1, pre-production. I would have gone down for a pair of, how do you pronounce it? Louboutin? Brigitte would know. Something like, it's not Laubautins lah. It's like Louboutin. I think they call that head over heels. A joke. I would have gone down for a pair of Louboutin. I think they call it head over heels, but the closest I ever got was kissing the feet of celebrities in tabloid magazines. I have no idea what this paragraph means. I would have gone down for a pair of Louboutins. I think they call them head over heels, but the closest I ever got was kissing the feet of celebrities. I don't know what it means. Does it mean like go down as in like give a blowjob? I don't know. I was like, I'm down for it. I'm okay with it. Why? What does that phrase mean? I would have gone down for a pair of. I don't know. Maybe, of course, you have to read more to find out. My mother's closet was basically a sex shop. That's a great line, because it's so like, where did they come from? It was full of costumes and shoes, which she wore to work. That's work in the original sense, although she worked for a living. Rick? Not sure what. I'm not sure what this means. Maybe I'm quite behind. Work as in twerk? Is that it? I take a pair of her shoes and wear them down in the basement, pretending the cement floor was covered with a red carpet and the washer and dryer were paparazzi. I hoped the conspiracy theory that the iPhone camera lens is the all-seeing eye was true. Big Brother is watching you. Perfect. I loved an audience. I think I quite like the writing style in this. I think it's like my favorite out of the ones we've read. Even though there's some things I don't understand. Ray caught me once. It took me a while to notice him standing in the laundry room doorway because of all the white spots in his eyes. Why does he have white spots in his eyes? I don't know. When I blinked, my world coruscated. Is that how I pronounce it? He didn't say anything, just stared at me and then shook his head, turned off the light and went back upstairs. I stood in the darkness, barely feeling my feet, bleeding from the patent leather heels, which were too small and dug into my skin. I didn't care about the pain. My blisters were stigmata. I was their Jesus. I bled for them so that we could have life. I remembered what shoes I was wearing when we all got together for our first read-through, the summer before I had my brains blown out. in heart-shaped chunks. So is this like narrated by a dead person? That's very intriguing. It's like Sunset Boulevard, right? Because it's also a movie story that starts with a dead person's narrator. Unless Blow My Brains Out is like a metaphorical thing. Which, I don't know, maybe it is. I was flipping through a magazine waiting for Angela at the graveyard gate in giant white platforms. They made me look like Baby Spice and Michael Ehrlich's love child. I have no idea who Michael Ehrlich is. I know Baby Spice now. I had a lollipop and a syringe filled with Drano tangled in the laces. When Angela showed up, she said, I brought my camera in case you want to shoot. You know you never have to ask to take my picture, I told her. But if you ever do and I say no, keep taking it anyway. And don't stop until I have a mental breakdown. Tight boots, she said, lighting a joint. They're my mom's. She wears them when she dresses as a schoolgirl and dances to Baby One More Time. So it sets a period. You have a Britney Spears reference. It situates it in its historical context. I totally helped choreograph her routine. 40 years old and still dressing like an underage slut, Angela laughed. I think I'll make a Facebook fan page for her when I get home. Oh, her mother is only 40. Oh. I licked a picture in the tabloid I was holding. Sorry, I said. I have to make the Hemsworth brothers as wet as they make me. Hemsworth. Yeah, I think that, I kind of know the Hemsworth brothers. I'm not sure in what capacity they're famous. No need to apologize, dude. Angel, is it? She calls Angela Angel. Oh, it's a typo. It might even be a typo because she goes back to being Angela right after that. So, like, I'm shocked that an international publication has a typo because, yeah, she's only Angel in that one instance, right? At the end of, it should be banned. Books with typos. So early in the book. Angel snapped a Polaroid. I do them both at the same time. You do them both in the same hole, I laughed. But who wouldn't? I vaguely recall the famous Hemsworth brothers. Who do you think is bigger, Chris or Liam? Liam. Oh, that one. He'd have to be to Phil Miley. Okay. We smoked while I climbed over tombstones, posing like a starlit corpse. My pale skin made me look like a wraith. I was one with the white flash. Angela took Polaroids because she thought they made her bohemian, which is the same reason why she smoked cigarettes and had unprotected sex. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where this is going, but out of the 6, I think I really like the writing style of this. I'm quite intrigued to see where it will go. So yeah, so I haven't read synopsis, I don't know where it goes. So yeah, that's kind of the end of the oh no, let's look at all these comments, because I didn't know how to read and look at comments all the time. Should I look at the newest first, or like, oh, drag queens work the runway. Oh, thank you, Brigitte. I didn't realize that. Oh, it's like you gotta work. Yeah, it's like RuPaul, right? It's like that kind of thing. Okay. Sydney has a flashback. Sailor Moon. Oh, okay. Fine. Lady of the Night. Yeah, work. But maybe model, or I don't know. She'd give a blowjob for those shoes. Yeah, I guess. Because the way it was phrased is like, I would go down. I would have gone down. Because I'm more used to seeing it like you go down on somebody. There's like, so it's a bit of a... Louboutins. Thank you, Brigitte. Who knows? Because actually the Perintah Lari Ishina asked if you buy the book with a different cover. With the ministry thing is different, but the title is the same. But they didn't say ISBN, because I guess they know that a book can be reprinted with different ISBNs. Are there any questions? Yeah. Oh my gosh, some people say Yiddish Iris by Google Girls. What is the Great Gatsby pub charas? Yeah, that's kind of a random thing. Oh, the Great Gatsby. Yes, a pouch. Yes, that's what a fanny pack is. Yeah. That thing. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's the end. I mean, the whole point was just to get people together and read, because interestingly, in the Perintah Larangan, reading it is not an offense. So if you read it on your screen and you don't own a physical copy, how can that be wrong? I suppose things become blurred when you sort of own an ebook because it's something like in your possession. Whereas if you're watching something on the screen like this, it's totally legal. Nothing wrong with that. So, but it also, I don't want to go through the whole human rights, freedom of expression thing, but I think you can fill up the blanks for yourself. I think I agree with there's a wise old saying, there are worse things than banning books, and that is not reading them. So if any of these sound intriguing, I think you can be resourceful enough to find out how to get them. And it seems to be an annual occurrence where the government will release a list of banned books. There have been a few years where nothing was banned, but very few. Almost every year there will be some. So maybe we can do this again for the next one. And by which time I would have learned how to figure out how to share screen. So any question? And no question, go ahead. Okay lah, it's quite late. Digital reader is okay. Yeah, I think this because it's the thing about owning, right? Because the one of the things is memiliki, right? So it's a bit like watching something on YouTube versus having the video file in your computer. Because when you watch something on YouTube, you don't own it. It's just there. It's like streaming. Streaming lah. The streaming you don't own it. Yeah. So thank you. Sorry for the technical hiccups because first time trying to do this. So thank you very much, and we're open to other people to do similar sessions. Talk about what you want to talk about when it comes to writing and creativity. And just propose it to us, Pen Malaysia, and we'll be glad to host it. Yeah. Ko Yi. But Ko Yi was saying that things about you can ban a book, but the movie is on Netflix. Yeah, that's because Netflix is not subject to censorship laws. Yeah. So thank you very much. I don't know how else to. I can't hear what people are saying, so it's a bit like disorienting just to see. Terence had a good observation. All the books were written from first-person perspective. Maybe I think a lot of them are YA kind of books, and YA books I think tend to be first-person. I may be wrong, but I think most of them are, because people want to. The moment they pick it up, they want to relate directly to it. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry for screwing up at the beginning. Okay, good night. How do I end this thing? Okay.